Hi everyone. Today I'm here with the topic cultural relativism. So let's understand what it means and what are the things related to it in simple terms. So let's get into the topic. First of all, let's look into what is cultural relativism. Now, this is actually the perspective of a particular culture of what is right and wrong. And it says that the right and wrong is culture specific. That means there is something which is right in one culture, it might be wrong in another culture. We can have example, let's say mixing of both the genders. In the Western culture, it is very normal to have mixing, but when we come into the culture of the Middle East, it's wrong. The men and the women don't mix. Even at family gatherings, they have separate gatherings for men and separate for women. Now, it is also the total opposite of universalism. What is universalism? Universalism means one set of rules for everyone around the world. So there is only one rule for everyone, but in it is the opposite in cultural relativism. Why? In cultural relativism, we have different rules for each culture because we have different traditions, beliefs, religion, language, dress code, etc. So what is right in my culture won't be right in your culture. Now let's see what are the benefits or advantages of cultural relativism. Now cultural relativism makes people open-minded. That encourages people to be open-minded. We accept that okay, it is okay for them to do it, although we think it's wrong. Let's take the same example which we just discussed now. Even though males and females don't mix with each other in the Middle East culture, the people are still open to the idea of working with female colleagues. Let's say there is a European company or an American company or something, and you know that for them it's normal. So even though they don't mix, but they are okay to the idea, when they are mixing, it's okay. And when they are working with female colleagues, it's okay because, they know that it's okay. You need to talk to them, you need to pass on things. It's just for work, it's fine. Another example can be, the women in Muslim culture, they wear hijab, the complete covered dress. And the people who don't wear are okay with it. It's not that, okay, they are wearing, they are wrong, we will not talk to them. They are open-minded nowadays. The second benefit is that it promotes tolerance. People are more tolerant to different beliefs nowadays. Again, I'll explain with an example. Drinking alcohol is prohibited in many cultures, but it's completely normal for other cultures. So let's say you have a colleague who drinks. Although you think that it's wrong, drinking alcohol is wrong, you won't mind as long as he is not interfering with the doing it at the workplace or affecting his the work or anything. If he's drinking in the weekends at home, you don't mind. You let him do what he wants. You tolerate. You become tolerant here. We can say another example. Let's say during Ramadan, especially in the Middle East countries, the non-Muslims don't eat in public during the fasting hours. Here also they are tolerating their hunger because they know the culture or the religion of this people is different and they are trying to respect that. Now we go to the next benefit. It says it promotes cooperation. People cooperate in different events and activities, even if it's from a different culture. Again, we can take the example of different celebrations, even though it's not your according to your culture, you take part in the celebrations and occasions. I can give one more example. Let's say when there are birthday parties or thing, There might be some traditional religious beliefs which says that, you should not have birthday parties, and you might not be a person who celebrate birthdays, but you would still cooperate and take part in birthdays of your colleagues or friends or neighbors. So this is also cooperation. The last one which I could talk of is it makes people respectful. You start respecting others' beliefs and culture. Here I can give you an example of a man who believes that dead people needs to be buried, and let's say he has a colleague or a neighbor who believes that dead people have to be burned or cremated. So when someone in the family dies, okay, this man who does not believe in cremation respect the decision of the person who decide to burn the body, and he cooperates with the funeral even though he believes that they are doing wrong. In this picture also you can see, you know, there are women who wear hijab, and they wear it because it's their faith or religion. It's not because you have to. And the other people, when they realize that it's different, and they respect it. Let's talk about criticisms of cultural relativism. We talked about the advantages, now we have some disadvantages. The first disadvantage is that cultural relativism can make a person or a community feel superior to others. A person might think that I'm right or my culture is perfect and the other cultures are wrong. Such people disagree with others and make arguments and, cause problems. Another disadvantage it would be that cultural relativism causes a hindrance to reform. It causes problems to changes. When they believe that the culture is totally right, they become close-minded. They don't accept any criticisms. This will cause obstacles to any changes. For example, we can say in the past, women were believed to be confined to their houses. They were not allowed to work or even go to schools. It took a long time to have this change, because why? Most of the societies at that time believed that they were right. If they still believed in it and stuck with it, we would not have any changes, and women would be still locked in their houses. So this is how it causes an obstacle to reform or changes. The next criticism is that cultural relativism is not logical. There are many sets of rules, and people wouldn't know what to follow. For example, let's take an incident when a man steals bread from a shop because he was so hungry and hadn't eaten for many days. Now, how would you deal with this man? Maybe there is the shopkeeper caught him and there are different people gathering around him. One might say that let him go because he took the bread as he was hungry. But there might be others who would say no, he should be punished because he committed a crime. Stealing is considered to be a crime, right? No matter what the situation is. So this was just an example, common example. But if there are other situations and people from different culture have different rules, it cannot be logical, right? Also, cultural relativism leads to conflict and confusion. Let's consider a man coming from multicultural backgrounds. Let's say his father is an Asian and mother European, and he lives in the Middle East. So there is a mixture of three cultures. He will be totally confused about what is right and wrong, because according to his father, something might be wrong, which will be wrong, which might be right according to his mother, or maybe something is right according to his father and mother, but the culture in which he lives in, it's wrong. So when something pops up, he will be confused to what to do, and his mind will be conflicted. Finally, cultural relativism, it leads to soft universalism. soft universalism. We talked about what is universalism already. One rule for everyone. So soft universalism is actually a softer version of universalism. Let's say that for some situations or for some things they accept one rule for all, but for other things they follow their own culture. Like, for example, theft, murder, kidnapping, raping, all these are considered wrong everywhere in the world, and people who do that are punished. So these rules are same for all. But when it comes to things like dress, there's no dress code for everyone in the world. You do what is right according to your culture. So that's all about cultural relativism. I hope you have understood the topic. Thank you. See you again next time with a different topic.